What's going on YouTube? I am, of course, Chadalmighty, and today I wanted to share a story with you guys, but first I want to talk about this gameplay. I actually got 2 multis prior to recording. Like, I did a video on recording every single game that you play, and sometimes I still forget to record. Before this game, I had a pretty good game. I already uploaded that video, but this game was so good. At one point, there was only 2 of us against like 5 guys, and then eventually I looked over, and after I got these multis, and I was just like, what? And then I looked over and saw that I wasn't recording. But that's not the story I want to talk about today. Go ahead and enjoy the rest of this gameplay. What I wanted to talk about was this time that a friend of mine signed me and him up for this job of cleaning up trash after a race. I live close to the Bristol racetrack, and the job was supposed to pay well, you know, give you t-shirts, you're supposed to get to watch some of the race and do all this other awesome stuff. Nope, didn't turn out to be that way at all. In fact, we had to sit outside the racetrack out of the main gate so we could just hear everything. Now, I'm not a NASCAR fan, but actually getting to go and watch a bunch of drunken people sounded like a good time. Plus, I'd be getting paid to do it. Well, actually, we were not getting paid. We had to park like miles and miles away from the track and ride a bus over with all these other people. And then we get to the track, and we have to sit outside these gates, at which we're not getting paid until we actually enter the gates and start doing work, which makes sense, but at the same time, you know, we had to sit there for like a good hour, you know, whatever. So then the worst part is when all these people start coming out and they start, you know, making fun of us because they know exactly what we're going to do. They know we're going to go clean, and, you know, you got all these people, like, they'll spit their dip down beside of you and stuff, and they're like, oh, it's a good mess for you. And it's like, hey, F you, buddy. So we get in there, and it's just freaking disgusting. They have no drinks or food or water or anything ready for us. In fact, they were totally disorganized on this particular day. And we get in there and we have some gloves, and these gloves are terrible. See, some of the guys actually got lucky. Some of these guys got to get broomsticks and just sweep all the nasty, like, I'm talking like chicken legs and turkey legs, and of course just dip and spit everywhere, and then puke, and then messed up beer cans just pouring all over the place, and cigarette butts. It was just freaking disgusting. And then myself and my friend, we actually got the really shitty jobs of literally like picking all this nasty shit up with our hands. Thankfully we did have gloves, but at the same time these gloves were terrible. These gloves were maybe made to make a sub at Subway or something. They were not industrial strength, and they kept ripping open, and then you get all the nasty stuff on you. It was just awful. So we eventually did get a break, like about an hour and a half after we started. And we thought, you know, we'd only be there for maybe like 5 hours. Well, we actually started as soon as the race finished. It was around 10 p.m. And they said we would not be done until about 7 or 8 a.m. the next morning. And mind you, we are probably a good 5 to 10 miles away from our car. You know, there's no way to get out. I don't even think either one of us had a cell phone at the time. So we were stuck there. And we started off with close to about 100 people on our team, and as the night drifted on, it was less and less and less people. So finally we go to the restroom, and each of us had like a team captain that worked for this company, and they didn't do anything. All they did was just watch us and make sure we worked, and then if we found any drugs or anything like that, we were supposed to turn them into them, which, you know, I didn't find anything. We did find a cool pair of binoculars, I think, though. But so we went to the bathroom, and when we came out of the bathroom, my friend Clint and I, we decided we were going to sneak away. Now, people sneak into the races all the time because they want to see stuff, but I never really heard of anybody sneaking out of the races, which is what we ended up doing. So we go to the gates, and all the gates are shut and locked. There's no way in or out of this racetrack. Either A, climbing over the gates, which is basically impossible because these gates are probably 15 feet high and have spikes on the top of them. And there's not really anything to hold. There's nothing to climb. It's just straight poles going straight up. But there is just a little bit of room if you just suck in your gut just enough to slide underneath these gates. And that's exactly what we did. We slid out of the gates, we start running around the racetrack and everything, find a security guard, and we're just like, oh. And he's like, can I help you guys? And we're like, yeah, you know, what's the quickest way to get back to the main road and everything? Because we were kind of flipped around, turned around. We'd never really been to the racetrack before. And so he guided us and everything. So we start our 5 to 10 mile hike to our cars, at which point, you know, there's drunken people everywhere screaming and shouting at their race car drivers and people driving up and down the roads in big trucks. But this night in particular, the rednecks saved our lives. There's these guys driving around this huge pickup truck, and they had all these rebel flags everywhere and everything, and they were just screaming. They actually drove by us many times honking their Dixie horn and all that stuff. They actually finally stopped for us, and they asked us where we were headed, and we told them, they're like, dudes, there's no way you're going to walk there. And obviously there was no way we were going to walk there. I just wanted to lay down the road and just die. I didn't even want to go any farther. My friend Clem's the same way. But they picked us up and they gave us a ride. We got back to our cars. We got home. I've never slept so good in my life as I did that night. That was a horrible experience, and I will never do anything like that again. Pay attention to the terms and conditions before you take on any kind of at-work job or something like that in the future, because it was horrible for us. But guys, that's pretty much going to do it for today's video. If you like this story, any of my other stories or videos, please be sure to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. But YouTube, that's pretty much going to do it for today. And as always, let's rage.